Right, I'm going to do a quick video for you. I know it's been a while since I've done any kind of update on here for you about this EV conversion project, and I assure you I've made some progress, as you can probably see. So I'm going to do a quick rundown for anybody that's new, who's stumbling upon this, what have you. This is an 83 Mercedes 300 GD. It was a public service vehicle, basically, from Eastern Europe, brought here to the States. It was plain, like nothing special about it. Had a 6-cylinder turbo diesel, manual transmission, and transfer case. Really didn't even have heat. It had a heater box in it, but it really didn't work. So, other than that, everything was just manual windows, manual locks, not even an audio system in this thing. So, some points to remember as I go through this build process. All right. So I'm going to start off with going underneath the vehicle. Show you the setup under there. All right. So the setup under here is you can don't really get to see much other than just above the coil water line right there it's going to get routed today. You can see the bottom of the battery box. Right about here is where the controllers are. Front motor, it's a dual Hyper 9 setup, and then right here is our second motor cradle. Everything is set up to be serviceable individually, so if one motor needs servicing, I can drop just that motor. Or if, say, the controllers need work, they can be removed either from the bottom here or by removing the battery box and accessing it from the top. And then one last item under here is this box, which is it's a linear actuated parking brake setup. One of the things that had to be done here custom wise is it has a turnbuckle set up right in here to tighten the tension on the cables. However, it is designed more for a more modern parking brake setup, which uses a different type of cable and different type of ends on the cables versus what this vehicle does. So, ended up having to fabricate a bracket here to put the original OE tensioner setup in here, and then modify the end of the cables to connect to the turnbuckle. But it all is all in there nice and neat and working. So now from above, we see the obvious battery box in place of a typical ICE motor. This box has 10 Tesla modules in it, where it's 5 in series and then in parallel. So 2 sets of 5, and then those are put in parallel to get the proper voltage for me. Added a vintage air conditioning system, so you see the high and low pressure AC lines there. Down below will be the water lines. Going to be plumbing in today a Tesla heater for that. Over here is our electric AC compressor, the dryer for that, and then of course the evaporator. Our electric power steering pump, which surprisingly, with the weight of the 10 modules here, is slightly less weight than the turbo diesel that was in here. It still has roughly the same ride height, and I can drive this without the power steering on, and even turn the wheels at a standstill. So the power steering is going to be just an assist in a sense, which is kind of cool about this setup. That was one of the surprising things. And yes, I've driven this twice, actually 3 times now, out of the shop. So it is running. Here's our vacuum pump for the brakes. All nice and tidy here. You kind of see the throttle module right there. Did some creative fabrication on that to get the OE mechanical pedal to still work from the inside to out here. Really all it was just, modifying the pivot point and shortening one of the rods. So other than that, you can see the high voltage box right there with the cutoff. Right over here where the factory battery would normally be. Walk on over to it. 12 volt battery is under here, along with the DC to DC converter. Then these are fuses for the primary electrical stuff coming out. So audio system, the fuse box under the dash, AC system, and the charger. Go into a relay to act as a safety backup in case something goes wrong. So yeah, there's that in a nutshell for that. Got nice clearance. Let me pause this for a second. Got plenty of clearance under the hood. Again, this was the opening for the intercooler. There was a little scoop here, similar to what you're familiar with like Subarus. Has that little scoop right here, and the intercooler butts right up to that. This is going to end up getting cut out and completely welded in, since there's no need for it anymore. And then over here, where this opening was, this was where the air inlet was for the original heater core. I cut that out, closed off that hole going inside, and this will now be where 2 of our cooler radiators will go, down inside of here. Gonna trim out, mount it from underneath, do a little fabrication for that, but those will go there, and then the factory grill will fit over that, so you really won't see those unless the hood's open in that sense. Now looking inside, just laid the carpet out, trimmed it up last night, so it's laying here to kind of flatten out some before I steam it and get ready to bind edges, like where the seams are. Those all get bound. Custom door panels. That does a factory pocket that cut that front portion out to make a speaker pod out of. Door panels are made of aluminum substrates with PVC board and sign foam for the armrest. Not much else to show there. They're just, yeah, unique one-off design. Added power locks to all four doors, power window modules to all four doors. And those are OE power window modules that are in there. So the old crank system is no longer a part of the door. Looking towards the back, 10-inch subwoofer enclosure. Right next to it